Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this year's Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We're excited to see all the faces of former Hall of Fame inductees and then also our new inductees and their families and friends who come to support them. We're so happy you could all be here. We're happy that we are not getting completely pounded with rain right now, so hopefully that will hold true through the game tonight, but thank you all for coming. My name is Allie Dirksen. I'm a member of the Cardinal Pride Board. Jerry Swoboda is the president. However, he is cheering for his daughter in their section's tennis meet today. So he does send his best wishes, and he will be here at halftime to escort the inductees and their family and friends that are going to be going out on the field with them at the halftime show. I would like to introduce the Hall of Fame board members right now. I'm sorry, Cardinal Pride board members right now. They're all in red jackets like this, say Cardinal Pride Board. We have Megan, Leanne, Doug, I don't see you. Doug is running in here. His wife was borrowing his jacket, and Jen has been a great assistant for this whole event for Cardinal Pride, the Cardinal Pride Board. Scott and Heidi and Manny. I'm just going to say a few words about Cardinal Pride. Cardinal Pride was started in 1999 by some local community members who saw the need for supporting the Cardinal athletics as they were lacking funding from the school system. So we're there to try to help out our athletic programs at the Willmar school, both the middle school and the high school. We support their programs. Since 2009 is when we have our documentation from, but we've been able to provide over $130,000 for our student athletes and their programs. Last year we were able to give to 10 different programs. Excited about that. A lot of the things we give are the helping with the uniforms, equipment needed. We've provided the mascot, we've bought a drum for the band, done other things like that, and it's we get our money from support for the Cardinal Pride through our golf fundraiser, which some of you participate in, 50-50 raffles, fall programs, which you'll see at the front door from the advertisers. A local community helps us with that. The golf outing does, we have created an endowment fund to support the kids, and hopefully the plan with that endowment fund is that no student athlete will have to pay a student fee someday. Hopefully it'll be free to play at Willmar School for our students. But tonight we are very excited to induct 6 new Hall of Fame individuals: Steve Schneider, John Nelson, Gene Spalding, Lane Erickson, Daryl Ramey, and Gain Stone. We're very excited to induct you gentlemen into the Hall of Fame tonight. We'll be very excited. Choosing inductees for the Hall of Fame is no simple task. We do get nominations from community members, family members, coaches for the individuals that are presented to us. We don't go seek out these individuals. The board is a volunteer board, and we do get many very qualified candidates for induction into the Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame. But we do look for more than just athleticism from the inductees. We look for inductees that have been supportive teammates, good community members, leadership skills, and other character attributes than just the athleticism that you bring. So thank you to you Hall of Fame members for the role models that you've been for your team, and to our future athletes coming behind you. Congratulations to all of you, and we look forward to a fun evening. Before we eat, we're going to have a prayer by Tom Corneo. And then also, I do want to preface this. We're going to have the inductee and their person introducing them come up. We do have 6 inductees, so we do ask that we try to keep things moving along. We do want to all get to the game tonight and cheer on the Cardinals. So we're asking, try to keep it to 5 minutes would be great. Right? Back there? All right, got it. Good. But no, we look forward to hearing some great stories about these athletes and coaches. Tom?
As I look around the room, I look up to most of those 6 in the inductees coming in. In fact, I look up to most everybody. But let's have a word of prayer and bless the food. The 6 inductees in the Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame have exhibited outstanding accomplishments in a wide variety of venues, following in the footsteps of many before, some recently passed on. They all exhibited passion for their sporting areas and led their teammates and athletes by example. They also leaned upon their families, colleagues, and teammates for motivation along the way. So while it is raining outside today, and it's maybe quitting, the weather will not dampen the spark exhibited by these 6 inductees. So it's with a spirit of gratefulness that we honor these 6 inductees tonight and bless them and their families, and also thankful to the Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame and for the food about which we are to partake. Amen.
My name's Marty Demjian. I'm from the class of 71. Allison gave me permission to depart from the script for about a half a minute. So, when I saw the article in the paper about these people, I thought, God, I hit the jackpot. Mr. Stone was my algebra teacher the first year he was in town, 1966. And I just want to tell a little story. In 1961, through a feat of sheer nepotism, I got a job working on the KWLM Cardinal football broadcasts. I did it for 4 years. I was a spotter. At first, I wasn't a very good spotter, but after a while. The quarterback, the first year I did it, 1961, was Steve Snyder. And the quarterback, the last year I did it, was Lane Erickson. Plus I got $2 a game. They were a couple of my childhood idols, but my folks were friends with Doc and Evie and Vern and Evie, and I just wanted to say that if my dad could see this, he'd be as tickled as I am. John Nelson was born in Clarkfield. He arrived in Willmar in time for grade school and took full advantage of Al Swanson's fine recreation department programs. Pegged at an early age for leadership positions, despite near total hearing loss, John was a star pitcher, shortstop, point guard, and quarterback. At Willmar High School, he played 4 years on the baseball team, starting 3, 2 years of football, starting at quarterback for the 2 undefeated teams of 69 and 70. And people that played with Bill know that's quite a feat. And 2 years as the starting point guard, including the 1971 team that was undefeated and ranked number 1 in the state for much of the season. John was named All-Area in 3 sports, in All-Conference in 2, having volunteered to relinquish the honor in the 3rd sport so that a teammate could be named. He was awarded the top athlete in the talented class of 1971 and was the Willmar High School boys state representative the preceding year. John credits much of his success to his parents, the late Leroy Nelson and his mother, Joanne, who's here tonight. He has 2 older brothers, also excellent athletes, Wayne and the late Paul Nelson, who not only encouraged him, but provided benchmarks for him to compete against. Mostly, John is grateful for his coaches and his fellows in his class and older who made it possible for his teams to be so successful. Specifically, coaches Howard Iverson, Russ Adamson, Roger Schrader, and youth coach Elsie Clemenson. Nearly 6 years ago, John agreed to get involved in the Class of 71 Hall of Fame effort to promote the induction of the entire 1970 football team. Now he is the first of his classmates to be honored by Cardinal Pride, but for John it remains all about the team or teams. Thus he would like to acknowledge his teammate and hope that a couple of them, some may be here tonight, get here someday too. I have this script of 5 highlights. Number 1, playing starting guard for the 1971 Willmar High School basketball team with Bob Otto, Brad Welker, Paul Schendel, Brad Hawkinson, and Kevin Bostrom. that was undefeated and ranked #1 in the state, highest class for most of the year. Number 2, being a member of the varsity baseball team at age 14. John left Babe Ruth and played up in VFW and played up in Legion. So on our VFW team, even though he was playing up, sometimes he couldn't make it because he was playing up even more. Playing basketball at Williams Arena for the first time in the Section 5 regional tourneys, where Willmar, nearly upset, favored Robbinsdale. This is what we call the Morris Scramble. Late in the 1970 football season, there was a busted play, and John ran about 120 yards to score a 60-yard touchdown. It was like all of a sudden he was in the backfield. He had to do something, and so he like zigged and zagged and went much of the length of the field. And then the 1970 football campaign, playing with his classmates, Danny Comerford, Brad Welker, Mike Johnson, Jimmy Peterson, Mark Curtis, Brad Hawkinson, Brad Howell, Eric Madison, Jeff Curley, Jimmy Collier, Vic Disted, and John Persh, where Willmar High School beat 2 ranked teams on their way to an undefeated, untied season, and a top 10 ranking in the Minneapolis Star Tribune season-ending high school football poll for all schools. So I'd like you to give it up for Johnny Nelson.
I'd like to begin by sincerely thanking the Cardinal Pride organization for this recognition and to congratulate my fellow inductees. Since I'm the youngster here, permit me to say, as youngsters do, that this is quite an awesome group. My family moved to Willmar in 1961 when I was 7 years old. My dad, Levi, was a State Farm insurance agent, and Mom, Joanne, worked as a secretary for the business. Together, they worked hard and grew the business over 32 years before they retired. I am proud that they were successful, respected, and gurus of Scandinavian jokes. As a youth, I heard a lot about Ole, Dina, and Stan. I had 2 older brothers, Wayne, who was 4 years older, Paul, who was 2. I was always motivated to keeping up in sports. It would be a gross understatement to say that I looked up to them. They, in turn, were generally gracious in working towards my development as an athlete. This was never an easy task to keep up, as they were both accomplished athletes in high school and college. Wayne won the Willmar High School Best Athlete in 1967, playing football, basketball, and baseball. He went on to excel in football and baseball at Concordia Moorhead, starting 3 seasons at safety and 4 years as a pitcher and shortstop. He played in the NAIA championship game in 1970. Wayne always echoed Murray format. We're not big, but we're still slow. Among the best catchers to come out of the Willmar High School, Paul also played football and baseball at Concordia. Tight end, slot back, and a 3-year starter and captain in baseball. Paul was the person who made the effort to learn all about cochlear implants. He predicted it would be the best decision that I could make, and he was right. I sure miss him. Paul died unexpectedly last November. With this support from my family, I had it made. Growing up, my neighborhood was teeming with kids all around my age. Whenever we wanted to play a football, baseball, basketball game, all we had to do was knock on a few doors, or we would just go to some Miller Park. We also started playing organized sports in the recreation leagues The baseball season lasts a total of 8 weeks or about 13 games. Football season was 6 games, and the basketball season 10 games. We mostly developed our skills by playing all our time on the driveway, in the backyard, local parks, and occasionally at the Willmar Auditorium. By age 13, I pretty much landed at shortstop, point guard, and quarterback as my positions. I pitched some, and I love to play defense in football. I'm proud of leading the conference in sacks in 1970. Can you believe it? I do not consider it false humility to claim that my accomplishments had a great deal to do with the superb talent at Willmar High School while I was there, and the trust that my coaches afforded me, promoting me to keystone positions from an early age. Let me first start with my second point. All of you know Coach Roger Shorty Schrader. He demanded that I perform to the best of my ability, to be accountable, and to always outwork my opponents. Ironically, when things went badly, he was also the one to offer great wisdom and the most consolation. In my entire athletic career, he was my most influential coach. Now for point 1. Beyond my brothers, from an early age, the older boys taught us and helped us immensely by just letting us play the game. The guys from this class of 70, who I started with, had a tremendous offensive line and an excellent proper basketball coach. However, the class of 71 was loaded. I originally took an interest in the Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame when we started trying to get our 1970 football squad inducted as a group 5 or 6 years ago. My main message today is that I am only one of many in my class who could be standing up here speaking to you. I am grateful for having been their teammate. So I'd like to conclude today by saying that I hope to be joined at this banquet someday by at least a few of those talented athletes, and if the organization permits, that 1972. Thank you.
Congratulations to everybody, and thank you to everybody for coming today. It's so great to see such a big turnout for this event. Do just want to say a special thank you to Fernando Alvarado for taking the photos here today. Thank you, Fernando. And Josh Byrne. And Jen Deering did a lot of the behind the scenes work for us here to make this event come together, so we greatly appreciate that. And thank you to all my fellow board members for bringing it together today, from going from the tent to no tent to the school to outside, and so far it worked out really well. So we're happy that you're all able to make it and the rain stayed away at this point in time.
Football and baseball, all-state honorable mention in football. Another highlight for him was coaching with Lefty Ranweiler at Willmar Junior College in the spring of '73. Signing baseball grant in aid to play for the University of Minnesota as a starting shortstop for 3 years, and winning the 1964 College World Series. And finally being drafted in the minor leagues by the Pittsburgh Pirates, Chicago White Sox, and California Angels, eventually signing a contract with the Angels in the 1966 and playing for 4 years in their farm system. Our first inductee tonight, Mr. Steve Schneider.
Gosh, how you doing, brother? Good, how you doing?
Team that was ranked number 1 in the state, class AA. Being a member of the varsity baseball team at the age of 14. Playing basketball at Williams Arena in the Section 5 regional tournament, where Willmar High School nearly upset Robbinsdale in the semifinals. He was awarded the top athlete in a very talented Willmar High School class of 1971, and also playing with his teammates in the 1970 football season when Willmar High School went undefeated and received a top 10 ranking in the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Our next inductee, John Nelson. Our next inductee is Gene Spalding. Gene was selected to the 1958 Prep Parade All-State Football Team. Selected to the 1958 National High School All-American Football Team. He was a member of the National 1,000-Yard Club for gaining 1,782 total yards. He's also a member of the National 100-Point Club for scoring 106 points. Also held school records in the pole vault, 11 1/4 inches, and the 880 relay at a 127.8 that was set in 1959. Our next inductee, Mr. Gene Spalding. All right, our next inductee is Lane Erickson. Lane earned 8 varsity letters in 3 sports, football, basketball, and baseball. He was an all-area basketball player in 1963 and 1964. All-region in basketball in 1964. All-area in football in 1963. All-conference in football in 63 and 64. And Lane was a Hensler-Randweiler Award winner in 1965. Lane isn't with us tonight as he has passed. So let's give a big warm applause to Lane Erickson. Our next inductee is a stranger to no one here in Willmar, Minnesota. As he comes walking down the track is Daryl Ramey. Daryl Ramey was hired in Willmar as a teacher and football coach as well as track coach in 1978. Some of his highlights were coaching Stacy Manuel, the 2002 Willmar graduate, when she set a state and national high school record in the pole vault at 13 feet 4 inches as a sophomore. Also coaching the Willmar Cardinal football team to the state playoffs in 1987 and 1988. Coaching girls basketball alongside Shorty Schrader in 2 state tournaments in 1992 and 1994. And Daryl says being privileged to work with the wonderful students, athletes, faculty, staff, and administration in Willmar for 25 years. Inductee, Mr. Daryl Ramey. And now our final inductee in the 2017 Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame, Mr. Gain Stone. Gain was a Willmar High School mathematics teacher, counselor, and coach from 1966 to 1998. Gain coached 3 sports for many years: boys and girls cross country, boys swimming, and boys and girls track and field. Started and coached the boys swimming team for 22 years in 1969, where they were Central Lakes Conference champions 5 times and section champions 3 times. Coached numerous state meet entries in boys and girls cross country and track and field as well as boys swimming. Many times, all of them in the same year. He was Coach of the Year 2 times in cross country and 3 times in swimming. Named Assistant Track Coach of the Year for the state of Minnesota in 1997, Mr. Gain Stone.